guys, Brady here. Welcome back to Power Tongue. It's Monday. I hope you're doing so well and having an amazing morning. Listen, I gotta say something. I realize these videos can be pretty boring. I'm just rambling on about nonsense, but the whole point of this project, Power Tongue, whatever the fuck you want to call it, it's like a brain dump of random thoughts I'm thinking. This is not like entertainment or whatever. What I want to do here is like create a space for us to just chill, to like drink our coffee, to drink a beer, to do whatever you're gonna do, and just chat and get to know each other as we believe ourselves to all be aspects of that one infinite creator experiencing itself. So if you're not into this sort of thing, scroll away. It's cool. I'm not like trying to promote myself and be like some celebrity or whatever. This is like me trying to figure out this stuff that's being downloaded into my system in the past while, as I'm on like whatever you want to call it, spiritual awakening or whatever the hell you would call this. But it's like the secrets of the universe are being revealed to certain people right now, because we are in a very interesting stage in spiritual evolution or whatever you call it. So today what I want to talk about is sort of like a disclaimer for something I've been saying a lot. And I've been talking on my videos like we need to polarize towards service to others, choose the positive path and all this. And like, I didn't mean to come across like saying that's the only way to salvation or whatever. Maybe my Christian background got the better of me, but the reality is you don't need to take the positive path. You don't need to commit to service to others. And just because that's the path that I find myself on, that doesn't mean that that's necessarily your path. Maybe you don't resonate with that. And that is absolutely 1,000,000% okay. You don't need to be on a STS path. You can be, or STO path, you can be on the STS path, service to self. And that is perfectly okay. And you can evolve spiritually in that. You're not going to reach the higher octaves of this reality if you choose service to self. But maybe your higher soul's purpose, maybe your reality in this incarnation is not to evolve spiritually. Maybe you're called to be on this negative path. And when we say negative, you know, it's got bad connotations, meaning like you're an asshole, you're a bully, whatever you are. That's not what I'm trying to say. But we talk about this idea, it's a concept in the law of one called the sinkhole of indifference. This is the true negative path that you need to avoid. It's like a state where you're uncommitted to either path. You're not committed to service to others. You're not committed to service to self. You're not polarizing. I gotta have a sip of coffee now. It's still pretty early on a Monday morning. The reality is spiritual evolution depends on consciously choosing to polarize in one direction or the other. So indifference or lack of direction, stagnancy, whatever you want to call it, that leads to delaying your progress through the densities that we're trying to climb. So we're not just talking about apathy here. We're talking about something much deeper. The soul's refusal to fully engage with the catalyst of life. So life has, the creator through life has given us a catalyst which is meant to inspire us to either choose service to others or service to self. What we mean by that, your life might be full of bullshit. You might be cheated on, abused, bullied, whatever. That is a catalyst from your higher self merged with that infinite creator to make you choose based on these events and distortions that have happened in your own life, to make you choose either service to self or service to others. So you either choose love and unity, or you choose control and separation. These are the opposite sides of the spectrum. And you need to polarize towards one of these, because if you don't polarize, you will not evolve spiritually. When you have the failure to choose, you've fallen into what Ra called the sinkhole of indifference. It does tie deeply in with our free will. That is the major concern of the Creator. That even though we are aspects of that Creator experiencing itself, we still need to have free will to live our own lives and to do our own thing with that free will. Every soul has the right to choose their own path, but remaining undecided risks are being swept along by external forces, and they're prolonging the soul's journey in the third density by making souls fall into the sinkhole of indifference. And we talk about this Orion group, these negative forces that are trying to fuck with us here in the third density to try to slow down our evolution. How are they doing this? The sinkhole of indifference, by making you not give a shit about what's happening to you. Look all around us today. There's a disconnection in everybody. Like, people just don't give a fuck. People are overwhelmed. They're paralyzed by what's happening. They're obsessed with materialism and objects. Sorry, I hit the mic there. And they're numb by societal pressures and social media. And they're doom scrolling on TikTok and not giving a shit about what's going on around them. Not choosing a path. Oh, I don't know if you can hear that. That's my sump pump going, where there's a lot of rain happening around me here. We're in the middle of winter and it's quite warm, so things are melting. People, and I'm not just talking about others, I'm talking about myself too. There's times I'm not polarizing properly because I'm choosing to spend my energy on just complete bullshit, doom scrolling. Oh, what's on Twitter now? You know what I'm saying? Like, we're not choosing the path because we're so distracted by what's going on around us. We got to ask ourselves, like, are we living with intention to polarize, or are we caught in this illusion of neutrality, this illusion that nothing matters? There's nothing else. Life's a bitch and then you die. That's an illusion. That's an illusion that will trap you in the sinkhole if you're not careful. We want to ascend spiritually because as we reach these higher densities, when we move from the third to the fourth density, the fourth to the fifth density, the fifth to the sixth, and the sixth to the seventh, we are witnessing so much of our internal powers that the Creator has given us. We have so much more power than we believe because we're trapped in this 3D way of thinking. We need to make a choice. Neutrality is comfortable. It is like the easy way out, the easy path. But what happens to that when we choose that? It's like creates and fosters repetition, repetition, repetition. If you're not putting your energy out, your energy is just cycling within you. Reflect deeply on this. How are you using your free will that's been given to you by this one infinite Creator? How are you consciously choosing to polarize and align with your soul's purpose? And through meditation, through downloads and spiritual awakening and all this, your higher self is telling you in this incarnation what your path is. If you're on the negative path or the positive path, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you're service to self or service to others. You can choose the negative path, and that does not delay your spiritual evolution. And that's kind of what I was trying to get at and apologize at the beginning of this video. You don't need to be this like Dalai Lama positive person, this Gandhi figure, like spending their whole life fighting for others. You can be selfish. You can be self-involved and still be true to yourself. It's not about being like a monk figure. It's about authenticity and aligning with your higher self. So if your higher self is on the negative path, you should align with this. And this has been a huge wake-up call for me, because in Christianity, it's like, here's a set of rules. If you don't follow these rules, then you're not going to heaven and you're not saved or whatever. And the reality is, it's not true. You don't need to follow like arbitrary dogma and rules and stuff like that. There's so much more going on here than these small constructs of modern religion have a grasp on. The third density that we're in right now, and we are eagerly anticipating a harvest soon. We can't wait for that. This is like the realm of self-awareness and choice. We've compared it to like a classroom. We're here to learn. We're here to learn how to resolve our karmic cycles that we're in. This whole thing in the 3D is about teaching us how to polarize. Because once we polarize, we'll graduate to the next density, the fourth density, which is like love and unity and all that, the beautiful things that we're hoping to achieve soon. So there's a minimum level of polarization. In a way, in a sense, it's easier to choose the positive path, because to polarize positively, humanity, the collective, all of us, we're one unity consciousness. We need a 51% service to others rate. 51%. Just over half of us need to choose this positive path. Or every individual in their own life cycle needs to, for 51% of the time, choose service to others. However you choose to look at it, the reality is it's the same thing, because we are all the same individual. You watching this, me, we are the same person. Everybody is one thing. We're that one creator. We're all just millions and billions of aspects of that creator experiencing itself. Now, why it's sometimes a bit harder to choose the negative path? Well, because to evolve negatively, you need to choose 95% service to self. Or 95% of the population needs to choose to be selfish. Or you and everybody, for 95% of the time, need to choose to be negative. And that's actually not easy. It's not easy to always be an asshole 95% of the time. That's a lot. I know a lot of bullies and a lot of hurtful people in my life, and I can honestly say that even 95% of the time is a stretch for them to behave in such a manner as to be completely selfish and self-serving. So if you don't choose to polarize, if you stay in the sinkhole of indifference and you cannot choose it because you're so distracted by the bullshit going on all around you, you are what Ra called unharvestable at the end of the cycle. When we graduate to fourth density, you are unable to graduate because you did not polarize. And you will continue and continue and continue to be reincarnated into this third density environment to try again. For me personally, I'm trying to live as service to others as I can, because I don't want to continue reincarnating into this. I want to reincarnate higher and to evolve higher into the higher realities of consciousness. And just because you're reincarnating into third density doesn't mean you're going to be experiencing circumstances similar to this at all. There's different planetary systems, lesser systems, because we know, according to Ra, that Earth is about to transition into fourth density. So when you be reincarnated into third density, you're not going to be reincarnated into Earth. You're going to reincarnate into another third density star system. And that sounds way out there, way woo-woo, crazy talk. But this is just according to the law of one, which is the path that I'm on right now. Because when I stumbled onto it somehow, it resonated so deeply with me. And helped me answer so many questions I had and taught me the secrets of the universe. And it can do so for you too if you would read it, give it a chance. It's hard to read because the language is really convoluted and strange, but once you receive the download from that story, everything will change for you if you're ready for it. People that are in this sinkhole, they're going to continue to experience confusion, lack of fulfillment, repeated lessons, the same shit going on again and again and again. Like, has something happened to you again and again and again? Like, being cheated on. I love to use this example because it is something that happens to a lot of people. And it keeps happening again and 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 again. Every relationship you get, they cheat on you. This is a catalyst. It's a catalyst being given to you by the universe to push you to polarize. Maybe because that's happened to you so many times, you choose to polarize service to self, to love yourself and to serve yourself all the days of your life because no one ever did it for you. And that is A-okay. That's actually perfect. As long as you do choose to polarize. It's all compounded by this thing we have in this reality called the veil of forgetting. Only in the third density do we forget where we came from and who we are. Which is what makes you seriously choose your path. This is what makes you have to polarize. If you choose a path, you will awaken to the greater secrets of your inner self and your higher soul and all this. Because you've chosen to rise above third density shit. Anyway, I've rambled on enough. This is really important stuff because I look around me and what do I see all around me? It's like people stuck in this mediocre and mundane way of living. But once you've seen the light of polarization, you can't unsee it. Once you've heard it, you can't unhear it. Once you've felt it, you can't unfeel it. Because you've chosen to respond to the catalysts sent to you by the universe in an act of polarization. There's no wrong choice. It just matters that you make a choice. And that is the whole point of this video. So I'm sorry for like previous videos where I've been rambling on and on, like choose the positive path, polarize to service to others, serve others, love others. That's my path. My higher self has imprinted that into me. But maybe you're not on that path, and that's okay. And I'm sorry for making people feel like it's not okay to be in that situation. Thank you guys so much for watching and all this. And it's just a matter of like the right souls stumbling onto this. This isn't like me trying to get famous or whatever, and me thinking I'm so important talking. This is a conversation that I want to have with you. So, respond accordingly. Thank you so much. Have a great week. It's a Monday. Hopefully I'll be back a few more times this week. I want to get to the point where I check in every single day here on YouTube, where I make videos every day. It's just a matter of organizing a few things I got going on in order to make that possible. Love you guys. Love you guys. Have a wonderful, wonderful day. Goodbye.